Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another set of games of Littlewargame. Today's players have both been mentioned on this channel before, and one of them will be coming back quite a bit, as you can already see one of the names. But this is going to be an interesting matchup. This is going to be a best of 5, actually. So at most 5 games, at least 3 games of these two wonderful people, which I shall introduce right now. On the first map being Acadia, in the top left hand side of the map, spawning with the red pieces, it's Haffey. And all the way on the other side of the map, on the bottom right hand side with the blue pieces, as you can probably already tell by this worker going out and not making anything at the natural expansion. With the blue pieces, it's Consciously Eating. Once again, playing on one of his alternate accounts, Try Dying. These games are, if I'm correct, ranked games. So this is for all of the beans, all of the things that matter, the MMR. I believe that before these matches happened, that Haffey was in a 4-0 lead when it comes to the ranked games versus Consciously Eating, who, like I said, is once again proxying one of his wolf dens. So Consciously Eating is a little bit on an uphill battle. Nothing to further say about that though. Consciously Eating has all of the odds in order to take down Haffey, but Haffey, being a former Grandmaster player in StarCraft 2, definitely has some advantages. And Haffey, of course, is on his way to become the rank 1 player on Littlewargame. He is slowly starting to get more and more competition though, so it's not going to be as easy as it could have been before. But I am going to be here to figure out if he can do it. Now, again, Werewolf Den on its way. Is this worker going to make an advanced workshop? I am very curious where he will place it, because I believe he's going to drop in some werewolves once again. But Haffey is running some workers, as you can see his screen quickly flipping around all over the place. Definitely a StarCraft 2 player. But yeah, his wolf will run in, he will see exactly nothing, and he will know probably exactly what is going to happen. As he sees it right now, Watchtower of Consciously Eating is almost completed, so he will not be able to do that much with all of these wolves. And as you can see, the advanced workshop is indeed being placed in the northeast corner of the map. Haffey trying to scout around, tried to find the wolf den or werewolf den. He doesn't quite yet know what he will be playing against. But he will figure out sooner rather than later. The wolves going all across the map here is hovering over the place that the werewolf den actually is. But the first werewolf has been made. The airship is not yet going to be made. It's not even close, to be honest, but Haffey already up with the watchtower. You will have plenty of defense ready to go for when a werewolf actually arrives. Having that said, he also has 3 more workers, which is an income advantage if we look at it. He is mining approximately 100 gold a minute more than our friend in the blue does. This is going to be interesting where this is going to go. He is going for a workshop, going to get the Gatling guns, which are a very nice addition to his army, in order to deal with the werewolves. But, you know, we'll see where it goes. He already has 6 wolves, which can obviously surround one of the werewolves. He can do the smash attack to spread them out a little bit, but he can definitely cover it around. It will be a little bit tricky to actually do it, as the airship can obviously do some micro with the werewolf to at least annoy Consciously Eating a little bit. But yeah, Haffey spots the airship. He already knows that The werewolf then should be in that corner. As you can see, we'll probably check the minimap in just a second and see exactly where it goes. And yeah, there it is. No airship in sight, however. But the werewolf then has been spotted. One werewolf on the airship on the way. Haffey though seems to be ready, is not scared at all, is going for the expansion, not even increasing any of the production. Just ready to go. All of these wolves are ready to go and take down this wolf then. One big smash takes or doesn't take out any of the workers, I bet, if we go check. No, but it does spread them out. Delays some of the mining. In the meantime, the wolves over here still just chomping away, and the werewolf then will definitely be able to take it down. I don't think this werewolf is going to be able to finish. This airship took a lot of damage by the watchtower over here, but so far it has been taken down just yet. Is this werewolf actually going to be built for the... It does pump out right before it gets taken down, but it's not a good position for consciously eating. He does manage to stop the watchtower being made at the natural base, but as you can already tell, Gatling gun number 1 almost completed. Try dying, also known as consciously eating, not in a great position. More wolves are on the way, trying to find all of the buildings. Does manage to find the advanced workshop. Wolves will go over there. This werewolf, a little bit in limbo on where he wants to go, does go and get picked up by the airships. But here we go. The Gatling gun, with more speed than the werewolf, is going to be able to just kite the werewolf wherever it wants to. And then pretty much is the end of it. The Gatling gun can also drop, I believe they're called caltrops, to slow down the werewolf even more. So yeah, the Gatling gun totally outclasses this werewolf. It will get picked up, the airship is safe so far, but the werewolves are not going to be able to do that much more. The advanced workshop has also been taken down. And it doesn't quite look good for a player in the blue. 8 wolves and 2 Gatling guns versus just 2 werewolves. He is a little bit behind on economy as well. Will be even further behind as the castle will... well, actually, it's only halfway done. The worker has been taken down by the werewolves, which is some nice micro from Consciously Eating. I do have to give him that, but it feels like he's not going to be able to do very much more with it. More workers going to start and continue work on this expansion, while more and more werewolves try to take down the army of Haffey. But I don't think it's going to be enough. These wolves are attacking a watchtower. Is it going to be enough? I highly doubt it, especially with these workers joining. But I don't think it's going to be enough for the player in the blue either way. I mean, he does not have any production. The only thing he has is a few workers and 2 watchtowers, which surprisingly is going to be taken down. Or is it no, it's just going to stay alive because the worker is repairing it. But no production currently for a player in the blue, just going for economy, while our boy in the red, Haffey, is continuously to make some wolves and Gatling guns. Definitely can get an army to just overwhelm Consciously Eating. These werewolves are almost dead, and he cannot really do much more with them. If he does decide to drop them, he's definitely going to lose them, so I think he's just going to take this airship back home. He's going for 2 barracks back home, so he's going to switch to a barrack style play. Maybe trying to counter some of these Gatling guns, as Haffey might be thinking that he is going to continue through the beast path, but he isn't, as he decides to move out. Still, these werewolves are almost dead. There's still a watchtower over here, which you cannot really do that much about. These werewolves are going to attack this house. I don't think it's going to be able to do enough. And I don't think Haffey even cares about the house anyway. As the Gatling gun comes out, it's probably going to be able to take down... No, it's not going to be able to take down the werewolves, as there is some decent micro going on from Consciously Eating to try and save it and deal as much damage as possible. But I think he's going to be distracted with his natural for quite a bit when this army arrives. Second watchtower is almost completed. And it will deal with his army quite a bit, but it does get taken down fast. These Gatling guns do have quite some damage with them, especially when they are with 5 in total. Meantime, the werewolves do manage to take down the house, but it's not really doing anything else. These Gatling guns also just outside of the reach of this watchtower, so this base is continuously going to be attacked. In the meantime, Haffey keeping an eye on these werewolves, do take down the airship, and I think with that these werewolves are doomed to die. While the natural of Consciously Eating is also getting taken down. I don't think that there is much more that he can do. 3 more Gatling guns enter the fray, take down the werewolves without any hesitation. The Advanced Workshop coming in. I expect that to be for some drops himself. I don't expect him to go for any ballistas. But Consciously Eating, able to actually push back the army of Haffey, up until now at least. But he is behind on economy still. Not that far behind on economy actually, but still doesn't look great. Catapults are added to the army of Haffey. Going to get some more long-ranged sieging in there. Maybe he's going to do some catapult drops in the main base of Consciously Eating while the Gatling guns start to attack and harass his natural. I expect that to be the case. This wolf still taking care of the scouting of a possible third that he would be taking. I don't think that's anywhere near in the future. And yeah, you can see it over here. Caltrops are being dropped all over the place by these Gatling guns. These archers, I expect them to just run over them to just get rid of them. I don't think that they do any damage. But we will figure out. Yeah, he walks one archer over there. Doesn't actually let him go. Okay. Yeah, they do deal a little bit of damage. Just 1 damage. While it slows them down, they will probably... Do they actually regenerate that health, or will it stay at 159? I think it just stays at 159 for the rest of their lives. Doesn't hurt that much, but every hit point is 1 too many. And yeah, there is an airship coming with this catapult. He is going to make a second one, so that's definitely going to be a catapult drop, I assume. Another workshop, so Haffey is going 100% mech, it looks like it. Definitely a good option here. This wolf will be hunted away, or pushed away, I should say. It will be hunted and pushed away by the archers, but it can go back immediately after. No pressure whatsoever coming from Consciously Eating. He is trying to keep up with the economy, but he stays 2 workers behind at every time, so still in a little bit of a deficit. And he's Haffey is actually not going for a complete mechanical army, as he does remember that he actually has a wolf den. So he's probably going to use the wolves more for scouting than anything, but a third of Haffey is almost being completed. He definitely will gain a lot of economy by just splitting the workers that he has over 3 bases instead of 2. So I'm going to be curious what this will jump up to once the third starts kicking in. I'll keep an eye on that. Just for now. These airships, once again, dropping some catapults. Definitely going to smash everything over here. This catapult is probably going to focus on the archers. Slowly taking them down, hopefully. I'm not going to lose too many workers on the Consciously Eating side, and that hurts. That positioning is not the best. I believe that that's 2 archers going down, 2 or 3 archers going down. Definitely not the greatest. 3 raiders trying to find a way past the outside, but yeah, you can see the economy jump from Haffey. He's now getting in at least 200, close to 300 more gold per minute. That is a massive boost and a massive advantage for our red player. Raiders trying to look around the army though of Haffey is going to get pulled out. These raiders not in a good position. Is it going to flash away? He actually is not going to flash away, as all of the 3 raiders just die. He is busy trying to keep an eye on this drop. 1 worker goes down, a lot of them get dealt damage. 2 more shots and these will die. No upgrades have been made just yet. 2 workers just getting hit by that one. That was a decent move, I would like to say, but another archer is being taken down. Not a lot of stuff going into the direction of Consciously Eating. Does get an armory for the archer range, but wait, where are all my raiders? They all died trying to walk into the main base. Yeah, they moved into my base. I'm curious what Consciously Eating is going to think about that. No, they didn't. Well, I mean, I sent them to your 3rd. It depends on which 3rd. He actually got a 4th in. Yeah, doesn't look that good. If you send them to the 3rd, they will... actually, I assume if they walk to the 3rd, they would have came across the mech army of Haffey and maybe been diverted that way. I don't remember if they were on an attack move command to the 3rd, but they would have been intercepted by his army if they were on an attack move. I assume they would be, because if they would get over here, they would instantly attack instead of walking and having the opportunity to be mismicroed. And not attacking, and just standing there. And not dealing any damage where they could have been doing some. So I expect it to be a little bit of a misplay. Not paying attention to the raiders and letting them die is definitely not the way you want to go. But the archer range almost being done for Consciously Eating might give him a little bit of an advantage, but if you look at the army over here, 12 catapults, 7 Gatling guns, and 3 wolves, mainly for scouting, as there is one over here, and one over here as well. Keeping an eye on every single move of Consciously Eating. Once again returning with some catapults to go and deal some damage. 3 watchtowers over here are very nice at defending the gold line. But they are not in the best position, as obviously the catapults can just strike them down from all over here. Not the best placement as you can. Oh my god, that hurts. I think that's like 5 workers going down at least, I cannot imagine. Well, maybe only just a small handful, but it still hurts. It's not the best position. A 3rd almost coming up for Consciously Eating, while Haffey is already on 4 bases. His main base is almost mined out, so we'll be back on 3, but the exact same issue is there for Consciously Eating. He's effectively mining on 1 base, and this economy, I prefer to just not see. That hurts too much. He is trying to sneak in a sneaky 4th. Yeah, it's not great. It's just 100 gold a minute versus 1500. He has been outmined by at least 2000 gold so far. And while he has been outmined by 2000 gold, actually, he's also like 800 gold less efficient, so it's almost 3000 gold that he's behind, if not more. There is a double forge going for a double mechanical unit attack upgrade. Yeah, that's not going to work in the favor of our blue friend over here. The airship not doing anything. This airship not doing anything. It's just going to get repaired with the ballista, which I'm curious if he actually managed to find the airship from... No, he did not manage to find the airship from Haffey. At least not managed to kill it, I have to say. Himself, which is curious, is getting the explosive... I don't know what the name exactly is, but it's the explosive shot from the ballista. Deals an area of effect attack, an AoE attack, instead of a single target attack. Try dying, dropping some army on top of these catapults, a very nice move, but I don't think it's going to be enough for catapults. Can definitely be taken out by some soldiers if they get close enough and the catapults do not go and attack. But the 2 watchtowers over here deal plenty of damage. These archers have never been dropped, so they never dealt anything. The 2 watchtowers at this ramp area over here as well. Very nice positioning. That's some friendly fire on his own workers. That's not great to see, but does it really matter to take out... Well, actually, It's not the best. I mean, he is 14 workers ahead, but as you can see, the efficiency gets reduced greatly if they're not spread over plenty of bases. Still though, he is ahead because the workers will still gain you some economy, it's just less efficient per worker. But as you can see, a double attack upgrade has just entered the field, 4 extra damage on the Gatling guns and 6 extra damage on the catapults. There is no army currently being created, while he does have 800 gold and quite some supply. So I'm going to be curious where this will head up. He did make 5 mills, of which 3 are in his main base and 2 are at his third actually, sorry. I feel like he's going to make a lot of gyros. Gyrocopter, I expect to be the full name, but the short version is gyros. I'm going to be curious if he's just going to mess them. Yeah, there we go. 5 gyros at a time. 2 more mech unit attack upgrades getting ready to be completed. It will be a major advantage for Haffey when they do get there. These catapults will still deal damage if these workers actually go and mine the gold. Why is he... okay, I was about to say, why is he going to make a watchtower there while the catapults are still actively shooting there? Yeah, it's not the best position. It does manage to take down the 2 catapults, but does lose some workers in the process. In the progress, sorry. In the meantime, the first 5 gyros have been completed, another 5 are on the way. In the meantime, still 12 catapults and 5 Gatling guns ready to go. Another ballista here as well with the explosive shot upgrade. If the airships do get close, they will be blown to smithereens. 4 workers at a time being made from Consciously Eating, which is very nice, as he does definitely have some way to catch up in both the worker count in general, but also the overall economy. And we shall see where it goes. The army does manage to catch some of these Gatling guns, do actually deal quite some damage to them. As all of these archers focus them down. They do have 1 attack upgrade, but it's not enough. Not more upgrades are being made. The 3rd attack upgrade for our mech army has been completed, and the other one is being almost done in just 3 more seconds. The 5th of Haffey is going down in the north side of the corner. This army is going to try and figure out if he does have it. We'll find that out shortly. What does Haffey actually know? He does know about... yeah, all of the positions. It's actually curious that he is going for this way forward position and not just for this base over here, as Haffey did. These gyros finding out about that base and the current state of it, taking down the watchtower, and even more gyros adding up to the field, just taking down all of these workers. 26 workers going down so far. A total of 15 gyros are going to make the life of Consciously Eating a living hell. 2 more watchtowers being made at this base location, but they are not going to be completed. All of the gyros just doing a massive attack. Just taking down all of these workers. We'll focus down this watchtower definitely, because that is pretty much the only thing doing damage to them now. Consciously Eating trying to do some kind of counter-attack, getting his own explosive upgrades. I believe that there is a +5 mech attack coming up and a first armor upgrade as well. This ballista is going to be taken down by the archers, but the ballista is not doing anything for Haffey, so that is a great tank to soak up all of the shots from these archers instead of actually taking down the catapults. A lot of friendly fire though from a boy in the red, but nothing that he can recover or cannot recover from. 4 more gyros on the way, 2 more catapults, and more watchtowers at his 5th location. Consciously Eating does not accept any more torture from Haffey. Any GG's out. So GG well played for Haffey in this game, taking the 1-0 lead in this best of 5. And let's see what Consciously Eating can do in the next game. Well, here we are. Game number 2. Once again back on Acadia. However, they switched positions. On the top left hand side, this time with the red pieces, it's try dying. Obviously consciously eating, but don't tell anyone else. And on the bottom right hand side with the blue pieces this time, it's Haffey. And while they're discussing about the previous game, I'm going to be curious in the meantime where this is going to head out to. So far, the house being built at the natural expansion tries to insinuate that consciously eating is actually going for a normal build. I don't see any other workers running around, but yeah. Oh, gee, okay, hold up. I'm missing some chat here that looks spicy. Definitely took a good deal of damage, but it was like 300 gold overview for the 13 versus 9 workers. True. You have more workers. I shouldn't lose a Warwick. I've been watching too much League of Legends, man. I shouldn't lose a werewolf or the airship. Building time of a worker. There's no excuse. Oh, just bad. Ow. Adding archers keep me busy. Could you come over to attack me when you're at 2 werewolves? Haffey was already moving out before he lost a werewolf. That is very true. That's very true. Consciously Eating was harassing with 2 of the werewolves over here. And Haffey was already running over with the Gatling guns. Haffey saying he likes to attack, which is definitely true. He already had a watchtower and a few Gatling guns over here though, so the werewolves were not really of any more threat. So he can definitely attack with that. So, this is going to be interesting. It seems like it's going to be a normal opening for Consciously Eating. He's going for a 2-den opening. Haffey doing the exact same thing. Is going for an additional house a little bit earlier though. So it seems like Haffey is going to go for a little bit more of an early aggression. Or he's just getting this house out there to try and scout the airship a little bit earlier if it does come in. Second house being made by Consciously Eating does see the single wolf of Haffey running in. He does have 4 of his own though. Actually stopped producing just now. But that was just a temporary hiccup as 2 more wolves are being made. So far, going up exactly even though he is a little bit behind on the worker count. They're now both at 12, which is pretty much perfect. I like to say 12 to 13. I've generally heard 10 to 12, but for one base, or per base, I should say. But so far not too much difference going on. 4 wolves going across the map, going to find the 5 of Haffey, so they are going to be in a disadvantage. Haffey himself is going to scout around a little bit, doesn't see anything over here, so he's probably going to try and run around, maybe try and see the snake bit. Is he actually going to see it? Doesn't look like it. Unless he is going to be moving. No, he does not manage to find any of them. And these wolves indeed have found the, well, not the mercy, the havoc of Haffey's. Wolf over here getting taken down. This wolf almost taken down, so that is just inferior micro when it comes to the difference between Haffey and Consciously Eating. Currently no production for a player in the red. He is going to be ready to set up his own natural, while Haffey's natural is already at pretty much halfway completion. A watchtower coming in for some additional defense. I have to say that Haffey must be feeling relatively safe. He obviously sees quite some wolves over here, but he himself has the exact same number of wolves. Getting his expansion going. Actually, try dying, not going for the expansion here, but actually the additional house. Kind of obvious when you think about it, as he is supply blocked, but Haffey himself is not going for any house, as obviously his castle at his natural is almost being completed as well. I have a feeling that try dying Going for another house. Not an expansion. That is extremely interesting, I have to say. Income-wise, he is ahead for just a second, but the natural expansion kicks into gear, and that is where you see that he is at a major deficit. Almost the same amount of workers, but 200 gold in deficit. Not a great position to be in. Haffey in the meantime scouting around all the time with these wolves, sees that there is nothing really suspicious going on, only small patches of fog remaining. But ConsciouslyEating is just walling himself in. He is going for quite the army, however, as he is adding 4 snakes in total. Bolstering his supply count just a little bit, but yeah. I cannot imagine that Haffey is thinking anything else than that he is majorly ahead when it comes to the income. And I don't expect him to be scared because he has a watchtower in his natural. He is going for the workshop, which I'm curious what he's going to make. If he's going to go for catapults or if he's going to go for Gatling guns. I don't think he's going to go for Gatling guns specifically. Because I believe he scouted some of the snakes. I don't know if Gatling guns are good for the snakes or if he's just going for some werewolves. And maybe go for some catapult drops again as well. Once again, wolves are all around the vicinity, trying to keep a lock on ConsciouslyEating. If he wants to take a third, both of the locations have been scouted by a wolf. 2 packs of 4 are all over the place. In the meantime, more wolves are being rallied over here. He's going for another workshop, so double workshop. It might be a little bit of a mech transition-ish, or he's just going to support his wolf army with some catapults, and it is going to be the latter. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to see what's going to happen over here. I believe he's going to, yeah, he's going to run in with the 4 wolves over here, trying to do some harass, trying to sneak in some damage to these snakes right over here. Catching some of the reinforcements, this wolf getting caught, but these snakes do get surrounded. This army is going to check for a third, but it's not there. The 2 snakes being taken down, almost no damage being dealt to these wolves. They're going to harass a little bit of the houses, but it's not their final destination. In the meantime, this army is going to be smacked around. I don't know why Haffey is saying what the fuck. Probably because there's no expansion and just all of these houses all over the place. ConsciouslyEating, going for the animal testing lab with the 1 attack upgrade, but I don't think it's going to help too much, as there's not really that much that ConsciouslyEating can do with both the watchtower and some of the catapults. Some more decent SimCity from Haffey, trying to restrict the flow of the army of ConsciouslyEating, who is not really doing anything with his army, so he is going to get further and further behind. Just now putting up his natural expansion, he's already behind 600 gold and counting. Actually 800 gold, because he already lost more when it comes to the units, but it's definitely not in his favor. I do expect these 4 wolves to be taken down with the surround of the rest of the army. However, it's not too big of a deal as there are double catapults being made. I sense an advanced workshop being made as well. Probably going in for an airship to once again drop some catapults in the main base of ConsciouslyEating. This is a nice concave, I do have to say. ConsciouslyEating, very well, very nicely placed. Surround all of these wolves and take them down. If any of these manage to escape, that would be absolutely ridiculous, but they don't. Continuous scouting with the wolf over here. The 3rd still on lockdown with that wolf. The natural expansion of ConsciouslyEating just about to be finished. Nothing really going on there. All of the catapults basically on the same positions as siege tanks in StarCraft would be. Obviously, makes perfect sense. But it does look nice to have like the same principles when it comes to the positioning of those units. 4th catapult, I believe. No, the 5th catapult has been completed. Now I do have to look for the 5th, because there are 2 here, 2 there. Where is number 5, though? That is interesting. I don't see catapult number 5. That. Right. Anyway. Ah, there it is. It's hiding. It's hiding between the two watchtowers. That is very sneaky. The house is going to be attacked. Not a great thing to attack here, but it does open up the watchtower here. A lot of army is just being taken down by these catapults. Damage being dealt to the watchtower is going to be taken down. The army is going to spread out a little bit, but it needs to be on the constant move versus the catapults of Haffey. Does manage to get some catapult shots going on to his own army, so some friendly fire happening. Not the greatest, but it doesn't matter too much as his army is in greater numbers. Anyway, he's also getting an armor upgrade, which will make them even stronger. He's going for a ballista, which I don't quite see the reason for. I mean, he might have scouted. Yeah, he did scout the advanced workshop, but obviously doesn't quite know what is going to be popping out of there, so I think this ballista is just for precaution, even though there's nothing to be afraid of. Once again, catapults are going to be able to smack down on this natural. Does manage to pull away all of the workers just in time before they are being taken out by the catapults, but it does result into some lost mining time. The army of Consciously Eating is on retreat, but it is being followed by Haffey's army while he is moving out. He is getting a third base. A nice standard thing to do. Some great game mechanics. These snakes are trapping themselves. It's not a great position to be in. These wolves will definitely surround them all around. And maybe doing some friendly fire with the catapults. Not the best position, but once again, his army is just so much larger. And there is not much that Consciously Eating can really do. Another wolf gets taken down by some catapult shots, trying to take down some of these catapults by surrounding them. But while he's trying to do so, all of these wolves are getting damaged and dealt with. This work is going to be taken down. The castle is just cancelled at the moment it would almost be finished. So that is a nice amount of gold being saved, but yeah, there's just too big of an army for Consciously Eating to do anything against. And Haffey takes the victory over here as well, in a little bit of a more normal game. But still a very interesting setup for a player in the red. 2-0, however, so far for Haffey. And let's see if this can be resulted into a reverse sweep, or if this is going to go into Haffey's way and take a victory with a perfect 3-0. Here we go. Game number 3. This time it's not on Acadia. This time it is on Little Ohana. Some more coaching between the two, I believe. Very interesting to follow up in just a second, but it is on Little Ohana. A new map, new spawning positions. So let's see what is going to happen this game. Oh no. Don't do it. Is he... Well, as this worker heads out into the map, you already know who spawns at the bottom. You can already tell with the blue. It's try-dying. And in the top, keeping it a little bit cleaner, even though this house placement is quite interesting. I mean, it does result into some lower amount of lost mining time, but yeah, curious why these positions are chosen instead of trying to wall this off a little bit more. I expect this to be already walled off quite a bit. Yeah, that's interesting. I should ask him about that. But it's Haffey in the top with the red pieces. Now, this is going to be interesting. Once again, it is going to be... Oh, well, never mind. It is going to be 2 dens for Consciously Eating. There's going to be 1 den for Haffey. Where is this rally to? It's rally straight to his natural. Okay, so that is interesting. 1 den versus 2 den. So far, a slight economy lead when it comes to Haffey, of course. Makes a little bit of sense because one of his workers of Consciously Eating has had to move all across the map. But we'll see where it goes. First wolf for both are on their way. Let's check the chat for a little bit. I think one wolf for my wolf isn't too bad. I think one wolf for my wolf isn't too bad of an idea. As long as it's of your last wolves to make taking your natural not so annoying, at least the first 5, so it's a tough situation for sure. I have a feeling we're missing a little bit of context between games, or at least of the chat between games, but it's still an interesting conversation nonetheless. Haffey instantly scouts the werewolf then being made. He will know exactly what to do. He gets a barracks going together in a house. I assume he might be going for... actually, do you need a Rex before you get a workshop? I expect you need to get a Rex before you get a workshop. That's why he's making it, in order to get the workshop to get the Gatling guns against the werewolves. But we'll figure out eventually. 3 wolves already attacking this den. This werewolf is going to pop. It's not going to be in time. Actually, the werewolf will not pop because the werewolf den is taking damage. It's still in transformation mode. It does get cancelled though, so that werewolf, or that wolf den, sorry, Jesus, is going to be taken down. It's already counted as a lost building. Consciously Eating deciding to go for a natural instead. It's a very interesting decision. The second Rex has been made for Haffey, and he's going to change or interchange his wolves for a double raider strategy. I believe that is a very good idea because, as you have already seen, the werewolf den has been taken down, so he knows that there is either nothing or just one more wolf den to be made. Raiders are very good against wolves. Soldiers as well. Raiders obviously have a little bit more trouble, but definitely have some more potential when it comes to the harassment of Consciously Eating. And of course they deal quite some damage to wolves as well. These 4 versus 3 wolves are not a great position for Consciously Eating to be in. Does manage to run away with 2 of them. This watchtower is definitely going to be completed as well, which will definitely make sure that these wolves will not deal that much more damage. As 1 wolf over here will definitely go down, and these other 3 will be walked around, while 1 more watchtower shot will be taken on to this wolf. First raider though manages to get on there. There is going to be a 3rd made for Haffey relatively shortly as this worker is moving out here. Is he going to go for a... yeah, he will put it right up against the wall. He has plenty of army ready to go to deal with some of these wolves and at least contain Consciously Eating to just 2 bases, leaving 1 wolf at the 3rd location. And just leaving his army right out, so that Consciously Eating doesn't really have a place to go unless he has an airship, which he does not have. He did start to construct a workshop and another wolf den. He is going to try and amass some army to push this away, I assume. Which I want to say he can already kind of do. 6 wolves versus 3 wolves and a raider, I guess, will be in the advantageous position of the player in the blue. But so far, nothing really happening too much. The raider not getting caught just yet, will definitely get caught by the watchtower. A missed flash straight into the rock formation of this wolf den will result in this raider dying. It does definitely get some nice scouting information, but it will die in this corner. Not that much that he can do about it. But, as you can see, 16 workers versus 14, not too big of a difference. And actually a surprising low amount of difference when it comes to the economy. Obviously the natural of try dying is in full blow with the 3 bases being done for a player in red. it's definitely going to kick in when these workers actually manage to get their mining going at all 3 bases at the same time. The wolves definitely trying to not let that happen. The workers though are very strong. These wolves not really doing anything against them, which is a very interesting thing to see. Definitely softening up some of these workers, but it's not focus damage, so it's definitely not going to help. This raider on relatively low health flashes away. Does manage to deter these wolves, and if we look back at the income tab, there we go. You see the massive boost of the splitting of the workers. 200 gold difference. Already 300 gold ahead of a player in the blue. And pretty close when it comes to things, or resources lost. The Gatling gun coming in from Try-Dying. I don't expect it to be a relatively great addition. But I don't know how good Gatling guns are versus Raiders. I expect it not too good, as Raiders also have more movement speed than the Gatling gun, so that's very interesting. This watchtower is soon also going to be completed as well. It's still a little bit of an overwhelming force from Consciously Eating. Some workers are being moved out to soldiers enter the fray with the ramp. Could have had a little better blockage on the ramp, but you know, this force is quite large versus the 2 raiders and 2 soldiers. Definitely interesting setting. These raiders, are they going to be able to attack this Gatling gun? Yes, they are. It takes a little bit longer than expected, but the first Gatling gun is being able to be taken down. This soldier not getting micro to attack this wolf. All of the workers over here have been going down. 6 workers lost for Haffey in the red. The watchtower though is definitely a great damage boost when it comes to the defense over here. Most of these wolves will definitely go down by this watchtower. And this attack will definitely be thwarted. A lot of units being lost for no specific gain. This Gatling gun also taking plenty of damage. Does manage to survive, however, but it will... almost got intercepted by the soldiers. Having that said, the Gatling gun does have more movement speed than the soldiers, but if it doesn't get microed, it will still die just like that. 2 archers enter the fray. Definitely will help with some more ranged damage as well. But that is a nice hold from Haffey. He did, however, in the meantime, get some more barracks up. That is natural, so he is making 4 archers at the exact same time. Consciously Eating started a mill and is getting some gyros to try and harass Haffey, I would assume, as one is just chilling in the middle of the map. But with the addition of 4 archers at a time, I believe that this gyro will also not deal that much damage. The watchtower at the 3rd is still holding strong. These archers will be relatively easily able to move between the bases. And here we go. Catapult from Consciously Eating will manage to move away and get some shots off. Will it deal any damage though? So far no. Soldiers will go over and attack this catapult. Will take down 1 archer, however, but that is all she wrote. This is not a great position though for our friend in the red to be in, as it does get surrounded quite a bit, but once again he is making 4 units at the exact same time. The 3rd is still defended pretty well. 2 soldiers to tank some damage, 4 more archers on the way. Curious to see where this is going to end up. Consciously Eating also getting a 3rd base, as you can see over here. But is it really going to do anything? These workers are not going to be targeted, as they stopped, or at least pressed the stop button. They halted in their place. No damage being dealt to them as the archers lured away all of the wolves. Continued mining, continued support by the watchtower. No other watchtowers are being made. Haffey, feeling that he has plenty to deal with this already. 2 of these wolves are going to die relatively shortly. There we go. The gyros have been dealt quite some damage, but they are being repaired, as they Consciously Eating did bring 2 workers along with them, which is a very nice move, but this worker definitely going to die. Not liking his job anymore. In the meantime, Consciously Eating is still behind on a lot of workers, and this is ultra interesting. He stopped construction of his third. Unbelievable how I botched this. Very true. I want to say that consciously dying. Don't combine names. Consciously Eating was in a relatively good position. Obviously a little bit harder when it came to the watchtower being there, but he might have been able to actually harass the main and natural a little bit more and get some more work damage in there as well. A fight ensues in the middle of the map, a lot of archers ready, definitely going to take down all of these gyros, so those are the main threat to Haffey. However, some of the kiting definitely going to be able to take down some of this army, 2 more soldiers enter the fray, definitely be able to take care of all of these wolves. But yeah, it's just not going to be enough for Consciously Eating. His army has taken plenty of losses. He is going to proxy another workshop, getting some reinforcements in faster, then walking them all the way across from his base. Did get a watchtower in there to support his workshop and get himself an advantageous position in there as well. I think I would rather see this maybe in the middle of the map in general instead of over here. Obviously this is a little bit more hidden, but the watchtower here will not add that much, I assume. If there were some watchtowers over here with some aggressive positioning, that might have been a little bit more positive. Obviously there is another way to walk around the map over here as well, but you could block that off. This watchtower could maybe have another one over here or one in the middle, block it off with some houses. I don't know. There's a few things that you can do. Obviously you can also just run past the watchtowers in the middle. But yeah. Not going to complain too much about this position as it is a solid position. But yeah, I don't think that there is enough that he can do. He does go and add some catapults from the proxy location. And there you go, getting a second watchtower over there as well. That is what I like a little bit more. I don't know if these watchtowers will be effective, but if he wants to take down this workshop, obviously they are going to be. This catapult though has been put into construction, but it's not started as he is supply blocked. Not a great position to be in. He quickly starts to build one house. I don't expect it to be enough though, because if you look at his production, he has quite some stuff in the pipeline, so I would love to see him add like another 1 or 2 houses on that, maybe try and get a 4th base going as well. But Haffey over here, what is he going to do? 4 soldiers, 4 archers in a double dropship. Probably going to the main of Consciously Eating. Also, a big fight is going to ensue here. Soldiers amass, still being able to make plenty at the same time, as he did construct 2 more additional barracks. He is currently residing on 6, making a plentiful amount of archers. Consciously Eating with a nice move, bringing them over here, getting shot down by the watchtowers. Does he already see the watchtowers? Yes, he does. It's not a great position to be in, to be honest. A lot of lost army by these watchtowers. Still though, do I like this position of Haffey? Well, yes I do, because all of the workers over here have been destroyed. If he can just hold this, which I assume he can, because he is making 4 soldiers and a few archers at the exact same time, while over here another drop is going down. Oh, that's not the best position to be in. These soldiers could have been dropped a little bit closer. But the gyro goes down, the archers can attack these workers from a little bit further away. Perfectly fine. A nice, well, not necessarily a nice surround, but a decent concave when it comes to the archers over here to all get taken down by the watchtowers and the catapults. Which is not the best position for Haffey to be in, but he just has so much more production that he does not care. Haffey knows that he's taking down all of the production from Consciously Eating, takes down the catapult, can take down the 3rd base workers as well. There have been a total of 16 workers going down. He only has 13 left against the 32 of Haffey. Absolutely no income, or relatively no income for a player in the blue. And all I can assume is that this is just going to be an overwhelming force at the defense of Haffey versus the destruction of his base. And he does indeed tap out. Haffey takes the 3-0 victory versus Consciously Eating, which is kind of expected, since at the beginning I did say Haffey used to be a Grandmaster player in StarCraft 2. I don't know the specific skill of Consciously Eating, but I do know that he definitely looks up to Haffey's skill. There is a little bit of a gap, but you never know. Underdog stories, it can always happen, and he could have at least taken one game. He's gotten close a little bit multiple times in the past, and during this series as well. So definitely a valiant effort from Consciously Eating, but Haffey this time was just too strong. A 3-0 victory, taking his total score this ranked season to 7-0 at the time that these games were played. And yeah, Haffey is definitely going to be happy about that. A lot of MMR gained, or actually I don't know how much MMR he gained, but he definitely gained MMR. So that's it. A nice best of 5 3-0 victory, the first of this channel. Very well done. Congratulations. And yeah, that is all she wrote. So there's only one thing left for me to say. If you liked this series, obviously hit the like button. Let me know in the comments what you liked, what you disliked, and if you have any games that you want to be highlighted this way, obviously let me know as well. And if you don't want to miss any of them in the future, obviously hit the subscribe button. And yeah, that's it. GG to both Haffey and Consciously Eating, and I appreciate the sharing of the replays. And good luck, have fun to you as well. If it's you joining the community and get yourself into some little war game, or if it's any other game that you will be playing, nonetheless, good luck, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, my dudes.